Hi, I'm Cyra Neave, Senior Clinician in the Schools Division at the Anna Freud Centre. I'd like to share some information about anxiety and how you can support a young person experiencing anxiety, particularly within the context of an education setting. One of the most common mental health issues children and young people present with is anxiety. Anxiety can affect anyone of any age, background or social group, and many anxiety disorders begin in childhood and adolescence. Whilst it's not uncommon for children and young people to be worried or anxious about certain situations, for some, anxiety affects their behaviour and thoughts on a daily basis. These emotions can be overwhelming and lead to a more serious issue. Anxiety now affects as many as 1 in 6 young people. Anxiety disorders in children and young people commonly run a chronic course and can be associated with increased risk of other serious mental health problems. In this video, I hope to share some practical tips and guidance for you to take away and use in your setting. Anxiety is a feeling of unease, such as worry or fear, and it can range from mild to severe. Everyone feels anxious at times, and this is perfectly normal and can be helpful, such as at exam times. However, usually this feeling will pass after the event and you'll return to feeling okay again. Sometimes, however, something gets triggered in us that then puts our body in a constant state of heightened alert, and we notice that we're feeling anxious a lot of the time when there's no real reason to. If a young person is constantly feeling worried, on edge, nervous, then they could be suffering from an anxiety disorder. There are a number of different disorders and they all present slightly differently. The most common anxiety disorders are generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety, specific phobias, panic disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Recent research tells us, unsurprisingly, that young people are under increased stress and are experiencing elevated levels of anxiety as a result of the pandemic. During lockdown, children and young people may have lost access to the previous support that they received via schools, peer support groups, and counselling. Anxiety and stress has been found to be the most prevalent issue for children and young people from a minority ethnic background on Couth, an online mental wellbeing community, and has seen an 11.4% increase on the previous year. One of the most common symptoms of anxiety is avoidance, and so being aware of this and supporting and encouraging young people to face some of their fears can be really helpful. Other key things to look out for are a greater need for reassurance or constant feedback. Anxious young people can present as irritable, panicky, overwhelmed, but also withdrawn, quiet, and low in mood. Some of the less commonly associated presentations for anxious young people is being fidgety, restless, and having difficulties with attention and concentration. As teachers and school leaders, there are several things you can do to support children and young people who may be feeling anxious. Firstly, be open and available to talk. Try to take their concerns seriously and be empathic and curious about what they're experiencing and what support that they feel that they might need. Try to encourage some problem solving and encourage young people to try things that they feel nervous about rather than avoiding them. Always try to work together with parents and carers if possible, as no doubt the young person will be experiencing anxiety at home as well as school. Encourage self-care strategies to support well-being, such as breathing exercises, relaxation techniques, physical activity, or whatever it is they identify as being helpful. Try to offer them a regular space to check in with a member of staff which feels containing, but is also manageable from a school's perspective. Not every child or young person with mental health difficulties will need to be referred to specialist services. It might be helpful in the first instance to involve the special educational needs coordinator to think about any additional support the young person might need in the school. Consider a referral to specialist services if and when the need appears to be above and beyond the scope of an education setting, and the young person would clearly benefit from individual therapeutic support. For more information, guidance and tips on a whole school approach to mental health and wellbeing, we recommend that you visit the Anna Freud Centre website. Thank you.